and welcome to another installment of Schiffbauer Over Rocks.
Cheers, bro.
Hey, cheers. Today I got friend, colleague, and day trader, Ryan Spencer.
What's up, man?
Welcome. It's a pleasure to have you. Before we get into it talking about trading, let's tell everybody how we met.
It's a couple months ago in the summer. We had a little Sunday fun day send at the little pool party. That
we did send pretty hard.
Yeah.
It was a fun day. You know, sometimes you just gotta get a little R&R outside the.
You took a little nap in the pool.
I did. I'm a big fan of naps. For those who didn't know out there, you know, so when you're constantly on the move, you got to get to sleep when you can.
No,
so.
I feel that. Yeah. No, we had a good day. We met through like a couple of mutual friends.
Some mutuals.
Yeah. That's it. Just blossomed from there. We ended up day send, and then ended up at Olive Garden. And
I was hitting on the waitress. Actually, she was a very sweet lady.
Yeah. That was funny.
I'll get more of this Henny. It taught me off, though. I ain't going to front.
Yeah. And then we go back to a crib and smoke some cigars. Yeah, set some vibes. Yeah, it was a good time, man.
I'm just like, yeah. But tell them more about how you got into day trading and trading in general.
Yeah, so I just turned 26, just to put things into perspective here with timeline. But went to college right after high school, graduated when I was like 21. Went to IUP.
Shout out to Colin Kelly.
Yeah,
so you're the second alum.
I know. I seen that podcast. I literally was bringing back vibes. He was a little bit after me though, because I heard him talking about like 2016, 2017. So I graduated in 2015, so a little bit before that. But great school, good times. So yeah, graduated from IUP. I really didn't know at the time. I made music. I was making music from when I was like 12 years old, all the way until then still. So that was kind of like plan A. Even though I was going to college, I fell into the, like, just going to college because that was like the thing to do. And like, that was the thing that was put into my head. Like, not blaming my mom or anything for putting that into my head.
It was just the norm.
Yeah, it was exactly like everyone that I went to high school with, all my friends, like everyone just goes to school. Like, but I didn't have a plan. Like, I didn't know. Looking back on it, that's like not a good thing. You probably shouldn't have went. But like, I didn't have like what major is going to lead to this job and what, you know what I mean? Like what process, like specifically. So I kind of just went, you know, and I was still making music full time. And like, that was my plan A. And so long story short, graduated college 2015 and just like couldn't get a job really, like with my degree. I majored in criminology. I didn't know if I wanted to like, I was just kind of interested in that. Like, I didn't know if I wanted to go like the cop route or like other things like that. So I went through like the state police process and things like that.
That would be a totally different life right now.
Oh, I know.
That's crazy.
I'm thanking the heavens above, bro, that I didn't go that way. It didn't work out. So I went through the application process. I walk in to the state police and they got my music videos and shit that I put on YouTube playing, bro. Just
really?
Quizzing me, 10-hour like interrogation on like, why is this drink in this video and this, who's this girl, and like so yeah,
that's actually pretty crazy.
It is cool. Yeah, it's crazy. It's cool. It's a cool story now. But anyway, so I ended up actually kind of taking everything down because of the backlash that I was getting from different jobs and shit. And I was making a little bit off of like streaming, but streaming was so new at the time, and like, and I was doing some shows, but it wasn't like, I just wasn't making a ton of money. It wasn't a full-time income. So I'm like, yo, I got this degree, bills are rolling in. I got to get a job. Like with my degree, like I can't just be wasting time. So I ended up not getting in the state police. They sent me a letter, said I hid a hip hop career. That's funny. Hid. Cause I didn't put it on cause I didn't put it on my application. You know what I'm saying? Which is funny. Where do they ask that? You know, what would you ask? What kind of music do you make? You know?
Yeah.
If I would have made country, would you have cared? I don't know.
I don't think they would. That's really interesting.
Yeah, that's how I feel about it. But anyway, fuck that. So I didn't get into that. This is probably like, I'm probably like 22, 23. It's like a year after school. So I ended up, I worked in like a warehouse for a little bit. At this point, I have no idea about day trading like whatsoever.
Yeah.
At this point. Zero clue. Don't even know it exists. I knew the stock market exists, obviously, but like the whole day trading small caps and stuff like that wasn't even in my mind.
Now, for those out there, when you think the stock market, you think of Wall Street, you think of Wolf of Wall Street. What is day trading, and like how does it differ than the perception that we get from like media?
Yeah, so I mean, just the general term day trading just means like buying and selling or entering and exiting a position in the same day.
Okay.
So that's what day trading is. But then there, to get more specific to like what I do, because I didn't have a ton of capital. So there's like large caps, which are your big companies, your Apples, your whatever, AT&T's, like
almost your blue chip stocks.
They're large cap. We call it large caps. And then there's small caps, which not necessarily penny stocks. Like that's different. Penny stocks are anything under $1. Mm-hmm. And they're usually what's called the OTC market, which is over the counter. So like,
okay.
I don't necessarily trade that, but I trade like maybe like $1.50 a share to like $10 a share, like that kind of range. So we call that just small cap land. Yeah.
Okay.
And the fact that the reason that I got into that price range is because the limited capital that I had. I mean, I probably had maybe when I started like $2,000 to my entire name, like that's it. So go ahead and try and throw $2,000 into Amazon and see how much money you make.
Yeah,
like,
you're not gonna be in the game long.
You don't make anything. Like the range, like you might make. I actually tried that. Like originally, I put my $2,000. I divvied it up into like Facebook and a couple other things on Robinhood. I don't know if people heard of that app, but like I did that like when I first got into the stock market, and like I just held it for like 3 months, and I think I made like $12. And I was like, well, nobody's changing their life off this. You know
Absolutely
what I mean?
not.
So I just doing more research and things you find. That's when I found like day trading small caps. And $2,000 in small caps on $1 a share stock can get you 2,000 shares.
That quantity is a lot different.
That stock moves 10 cents and you're up $200.
That's big.
In seconds. You know what I mean? Now, obviously, there's a lot more like specifics with pattern recognition and things like that. But when it comes to just the idea of it, that the opportunity was like right in front of my face. I was like, okay, finally, like if I just like learn this craft, and like I've always been like, once I'm like dived into something, I can get it as long as I'm interested in it. Like I'm full force, like
you're fully immerse yourself
years.
in it.
Yeah. I'm like willing to put years into the craft just to get nice at it. And that's basically how I treated it. I was like, I knew I liked it. I knew the opportunity was there. And I didn't care how much I struggled at first. Like, I was going to do this. Just facts.
So, you mentioned how you struggle a lot. I know you're in the position where you're day trading full time. That's all you're doing. Yep. Looking back on it in that process when you first started that first 2K, what would you have you done differently?
Nothing.
Really?
Yeah. You got to fall on your face. I lost that $2,000 in the first year.
Okay.
But it's necessary. The thing is, like, I'm glad I only had $2,000 looking back, because $2,000 in the grand scheme of life is nothing. I mean,
no, it's
much. Just really nothing. So I know people that start with $50,000 accounts, their parents give them money or something, and then they piss through that in 6 months. Wow.
That makes
what I'm saying?
That makes me uncomfortable.
That's what I'm saying. So like, so there's a big difference, and the fact that I only had $2,000 to my name, I couldn't piss that away. If I had more money, I don't know if I'd have been disciplined enough. I might have pissed $20,000 away if I had it.
It's a lot different. It's just like I can't fuck this up.
It's like I did piss it away over a year. But the thing is like that's such a recoupable amount of money to start back over again.
Yeah,
I can save up $2,000 with a job, not that long. It doesn't take that long. No. So like then you can refund the account and try again. You know what I mean? And you have to fall on your face. You have to make mistakes. You can subscribe to every service in the world and do all the research you want, but until you're clicking the buttons, day trading daily yourself, battling your own emotions, battling greed and discipline and patience and all that combined into 20 minutes of entering and exiting a trade. Like
that's crazy.
It's experience, man. Like there's no other way to put it. Like that's why if you talk to any profitable day trader, consistently profitable day trader, they're going to say it took at least, I would say probably 2 years to even get rolling. You know what I mean? Because it's just maybe longer. I've talked to people that took 7. And if you're dedicated, you're dedicated to it. I don't suggest going full time until you've proven to yourself that you can make that you can turn the situation around
over a period of time. Like, I'm making this kind of money over 6 months.
Yeah, a lot. Yeah, like substantially. Like that. That's kind of what like made me take the leap is, going from. There's a thing called PDT too, which I probably should explain. It's called the pattern day trader rule.
Okay,
and that's set by the U.S. the government. So anyone under $25,000 in their account can only make 3 day trades a week.
Really?
It's a stupid rule, but it's been around for a long time.
I had no idea.
Yeah, so it's really dumb, and it really hinders a lot of
progress and growth.
Yeah, because you can only make 3 day trades a week in a 7-day period, but a 5-day like business period. So if you make a day trade on Monday, Wednesday, Friday, you get one back on Monday, but you only have one.
Really?
Yeah, it's crazy. And like,
wow.
It's pretty stupid, honestly, because it makes people want to hold, and they don't want to realize a loss because they don't want to waste a day trade.
Yeah, it's almost like, fuck. It's like 3 strikes, you're out.
Like, yeah, like in the beginning, I've been down like on $2,000, I was down like $500 in a position, which is huge on a $2,000 account. Like,
yeah, it's 25%.
Like, yeah, exactly. That's what I'm saying. So like, it's literally you're down $500, and I'm like, I'm not locking this loss in because I don't want to waste a day trade on a loss. And that's the worst mindset you could ever have, because if you're wrong, you're wrong. Sometimes you're wrong, but you got to keep your losses super small. If you're winning 5 times for every one loss you have, and that loss is only, a fifth of what you've won, like you're easily profitable. You know what I mean? So you have to just make sure when you're wrong, because everyone's wrong. No one knows exactly what's going to happen. But like,
yeah, even if, like you mentioned earlier, you can have all the experience in the world. It's just, you got to be in that environment. And I'm sure you doing it full time here now, about 3 years in the game?
Yeah, 2.5. March of 2017, I executed my first trade. I did a little bit of I was studying a little bit before that, probably like January of 2017. So yeah, I mean, I'm still I still feel like a rookie, even though I found some success. I mean, I've surrounded myself. There's a huge network of day traders online, and I've surrounded myself with a lot of really good traders that, basically kind of keep my growth in check. You know what I mean? You got to you're inspired, but you're also it keeps you on the path, because you could easily earlier this year, I made a decent amount of money in a short amount of time, and you start to feel those greed emotions and those almost like your ego kicks in.
I can spend this, I can make this
out of nowhere. It's like this will never stop. I'm just going to keep multiplying it. As my account grows, I'm going to use bigger size, and if I made 500 on this trade, tomorrow I'm going to double my size, and just by typing in a different number, I can make 1,000 on the same exact trade. And those are just the wrong emotions to have, because you got to kind of stay level headed throughout the whole thing, because with bigger size comes more risk. And stare at your P&L, profit and loss, stare at your P&L when you're down $1,000 and tell me how you feel. You know what I mean?
It's humbling.
Yeah. So with bigger size comes a lot. So if you're not willing to lose $1,000, you need to, keep your size where it's at and stay comfortable with it, because it could get out of hand. You know what I mean? That greed kicks in, and it's unavoidable, but you just have to realize that it's there and just move on, tweak it. Just be okay, bring your mindset back to ground zero. Just a few months ago, you didn't even know, you weren't even feeling like you might have been a profitable trader. And now you just made a bunch of money in a couple months. Don't get carried away.
And it's funny. I tell people all the time, in terms of this success as an entrepreneur and being in business for myself, and you probably can attest to this, where it's not necessarily you're putting in the work day after day, getting better, but it's people think success is like a straight line.
Hell yeah. Yeah.
It's, to me, more like an exponential leap.
Yeah.
Where you're putting in all this work, you don't think you're a fucking profitable trader. You're working hard, then all of a sudden, boom.
Right.
You fucking kill it on a sale.
Right. And then you think that it continues that way, though. That's the mistake. So
that is the mistake.
So it goes from here to the exponential leap,
and then you're there again.
And then you zigzag like a motherfucker, just trying to keep it going.
You're almost plateauing for a little bit.
For sure. That's what I'm saying. So that's exactly what I was talking about, when that greed starts kicking in, because you think it's just gonna
keep going.
Okay, I'm here, I've made it, and it just skyrockets. So if I made 20 grand in a few months, now I'm gonna make 100 grand in a few more months. months. Like it doesn't always grow like that. Like, you know what I mean? And you see other people's journeys and you can like, you think it's so easy to like do that. But it's, and then when you're in it, you just got to make sure that you're checking yourself, because you don't want to overwhelm yourself where you feel like you're tapping out or you're messing up your mindset. Cause it's just natural. It's natural. You're going to have a long period of time where you're not that good. And then you're going to realize, like, it's with anything, not just day trading. Like you practice, you work towards anything. You're like, damn, like, is it ever going to like pay off? And then it starts to, but then you got to keep it in check that like, yo, I need to work even harder now to keep this going.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm big on this pushing myself. It's just like, wow, I had a great month. Like, how can I go harder?
That's that's the best mindset to have, because like I said, you get complacent and the greed kicks in, and then you're like, you feel like, oh, this is just going to happen now because I put in X amount of years in the background.
I deserve this.
Right.
I want to keep making this money.
It's like, yo, I've worked my ass off to get here, which we have, but you're not earned another fucking day, bro.
Absolutely not.
You got to put in, once you get there or once you start to see any type of success, you got to up the grind. You got to go harder.
I better say, it's in your position now, you got to make money every day. Me, I got to work. Like, I have like a nice retainer with a client, but like, other than that, I got to still show up and work and provide value for him. And alternatively too, it's just like, if I want to make more money monthly, I got to bring projects in. If not, I'm not making more money.
Right.
Simple as that. It's just like, I got to provide more value out there for others so I can provide value for myself monetarily. So it's not like we're clocking at 9 o'clock and there's going to be a paycheck unless we get fired for being schmucks.
Yeah.
But
no, that's what I was talking about earlier. Like that, it's just it's a totally different mindset. I'm not, there's a crazy fear to not be guaranteed X amount of dollars for X amount of hours that you put in. So if I work, I probably put in 10 plus hours into the market a day between preparing for it and watching it and things like that. And some days I don't make anything, or some days I take a small loss, and like, you got to be okay with that.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, that's just a part of it.
yeah, I mean, there's some days where you're not going to make any money.
Right. But you've put in 10 hours of work and you don't get a paycheck. And it's like hard. Sometimes you get annoyed. You there's a lot of like, you're pissed off, like, but then the next day you make sometimes more than you would have made in a week at a normal job. And then you're like, wow, okay, this is why I do this. Yeah. 100%.
Going into that, get all my words all jumbled up. I'm all hyped up on the caffeine I had earlier. But to rephrase that, this is why I do this. Why did you get into trading? What was the passion behind it? What fueled it? What like ignited it?
So at first it was just pure money, just trying to make quick buck, to be honest with you. Yeah. I'm not even gonna like front about it. Like,
transparency is great.
Yeah, that's just what.
We're very transparent on
the initial. I had a couple $1,000s and I was working a job that I didn't like, and I was browsing the internet to see how much I could fucking make quickly. That's the reason I started. But then here's the kicker, most
everybody.
People like, they want to just keep that mindset that I actually like surprisingly fell in love with the craft of it. I fell in love with trading, period. I wouldn't be here 2.5 years later still trading if I didn't love it, because I literally lost money for a year. So
yeah, most people, if it's like, that doesn't make sense. Like, why would you lose money?
Yeah, because that's what I mean. Like, they don't understand that. Like, but like, you suck in the beginning. That's why you lose money. Like, unless you're like the luckiest individual ever and you just buy and hold some stock for, all day and it just gaps up and then you just make a bunch of money. Like, but the thing is, even if that happened, there's a time, it's coming where you're gonna like
you're taking L at some point.
Huge L's, like multiple L's in a row, because you don't quite know what you're doing. There's a process to it. You know what I mean? I follow the same process every morning. Like, there's no like magical formula either. Like, it comes down to like just experience and like learning the process, sticking to it, staying extremely disciplined. Discipline is everything. Like, every day I wake up and look for a new stock. I look for a new play. Sometimes they're not there. If they're not there, sometimes your mind starts to like make its own plays because you're getting greedy again. You want you
Like, I
you
want some
need
money.
the paycheck. I'm here. I've sat here. I've been up since 5:30 in the morning.
Yeah.
I deserve some kind of money. That's how you feel.
Let's fucking go.
That's how you feel as a human. But then, like, to be a consistently profitable trader, sometimes you have to be like, yo, it's not here today. Like, just shut the screens down at maybe 11 o'clock today. Just shut it down. Go to the gym. Just do something else. Like, because if not, you're going to piss money away on a bullshit play that was never really there, and your mind's like tweaking to make it seem like it's there.
Now you're talking about trading, and there's certain times where the markets are open. In terms of you getting better as a trader, as a professional, how do you allocate your time outside of trading to do that? Outside the live experience?
Yeah. So I subscribe to a service called MIC. It's My Investing Club. Shout out.
It's a little plug.
Little plug. So that's like helped me a ton because so there's a huge network for one. There's a chat room that we're all in. It's like 800 people, 850 people or something like that. But not 850 people are active. It's not like you're going to get drowned out there. You have you have a voice in there.
That's good.
But also they do like there's I don't know 10 moderators or something that are all like really successful traders, and they're making videos and live trading and things like that. So I study all those videos. They're also accessible on a phone call. I'm calling.
That's
them.
awesome.
I'm calling them. I'm talking to them. I'm going through. If I took an L that day on a mistake I made, I might just call one of the moderators and be like, "Yo, this is what I did. What do you think I should have done? How do you think?" You know what I mean? So like I'm constantly checking myself. Outside of MIC, I'm screenshotting every single trade, every single chart that I see that I'm watching that day, and writing like a diary almost of my thought process and
Really?
how I got into each trade and what I was thinking for each trade. And then I have a spreadsheet where I put all this into and put every trade into with my notes, what I was thinking, what price I got in, what price I got out. And I'm just studying that.
That's fucking surgical.
I study my wins, I study my losses, and if you're not improving by doing all of that, then I don't know what you're doing. You know what I mean? So like you got to put in that much work though to see results. Because I'm telling you, if you just wake up, the market opens at 9:30. If you just wake up at 9 o'clock or 9:15 every day, roll out of bed, turn on your computer, and start buying whatever stock's moving, you're gonna fucking get killed. So I'm up at 5:30. Market opens at 9:30. I'm up at 5:30, maybe 6, and I'm looking at plays from yesterday that ran. I'm drawing lines out on those that I see. I'm looking at new plays that are running that morning. I'm doing research, looking in the filings, seeing what kind of dilution they might have, looking at news. Bro, I'm about this, man. Like I'm telling you, like you got to go super hard to see any type of success, because I used to be the guy that rolled out of bed at 9 o'clock and tried to fucking make quick money, because that's what people sell when they want to promote day trading. It's like, oh, you can make $5,000 in 30 minutes.
Bam, flash.
Yes, you can. Very easy.
And you can lose 10.
Yeah. No. Well, but I'm saying you can make $5,000 in 30 minutes, but the people that are doing that consistently, you're not seeing the background work that went into that. You know what I mean? So like, how about every night going 2 hours going over charts and waking up at 5:30? I mean, I'm putting in 5-6 hours of work before the market even opens.
Yeah, that's incredible.
You know
And here's the
what I
thing,
mean?
people don't know that.
Right. No, I get that. That's what I'm saying. Yes, you got to put that out there, because like the front is that it's so easy, and the people that are selling the dream just want you to like subscribe to their fucking service and shit.
Buy
anyway.
my course.
Yeah.
I hate that in my space.
Right.
The whole
It sucks because a lot of them, and now I'm telling you, the group that I'm in is not really like that at all. But like a lot of people that try and sell aren't successful traders, and then they divvy to, I'm going to teach it. Well, I'd rather learn from a person who's actually doing it daily, successfully,
practically, or more than importantly than anything, in the whole marketing, e-commerce, digital advertising space, whatever you want to call it. It's a bunch of guys where like they've had like a quick win, and then like, I'm going to monetize it. I'm going to sell courses.
Right.
Yeah, that's cute that you had these screenshots and you had one win. You've only been in the game less than a year.
Yeah, it
and then
happens
you're trying
all the time.
And then you're trying to like profit off it from a branding standpoint.
Because they're not that good.
Boom.
That's
Bingo.
just what it is. They're not that good, and they know that. So they're like, I mean, shit. Shout out to them for fucking making some
No, yeah, I
quick
ain't gonna
coin.
front them.
But
Kudos.
it's savage though, because you're not teaching stuff that works. You know what I mean? And in the day trading community, it gets real bad because if you have a huge subscriber base, you can pump things. I don't know if you've ever heard of like a pump and dump, but like
I've heard of it. Let everyone who's tuning in out there know what's a pump and dump.
Okay,
It's more than just yeah.
You're talking about some girls, huh?
Yeah.
All right. So if you have a big room, you have to have a big room. So if you're some guy who sells a course, right, and you have a huge subscriber base, you literally can buy a cheap stock yourself. You buy it, and then you tell your whole room to buy the shit.
Oh.
And you have thousands of new traders that don't know what they're doing.
It's like you're my messiah. You're like, buy this stock.
Buying. The stock is then running up because it had low volume already. It's easily manipulated because it literally might have had 100K volume, and now you're pumping in 3-4K, which will literally move the stock.
Yeah, it will.
And it's running 30-40%. Meanwhile, the guy who told you to buy is selling, taking his gains.
This is some Steve Madden shit.
And then everyone else falls off a cliff and takes humongous losses because once he sells and everyone starts selling, it just creates this. Not everybody can get out the same price.
Fuck no.
Every time you're selling,
you're gonna have losers.
The price is moving down.
Yeah.
So you have thousands of people trying to get out now, and the stock's plummeting, and all these new traders are taking a loss. That shit's savage as fuck, and I don't agree with that. So like the people that are selling courses to do that are just fucked up because you're just taking advantage of thousands of traders that basically are just starting. They've probably only been in a few months.
They look up to you. They want to do this.
Yeah, and they're following alerts, which mistake on them. I mean, when I started, I've never even thought to follow someone's alert. I wanted to learn the process myself. Mm-hmm. So maybe it's a little bit of a fault to them, but it's also like, why are you doing that shit? I mean, they're already subscribing to you. They might be paying $150, $200 a month just to be in your course, and then you're shitting on them too when they're buying.
Blows my mind.
Like, you know what I mean?
Blows my mind.
Good God, man! Like it just doesn't make any sense. It makes sense for them to make money, but it's just savage.
It's fucked
just,
up.
Yeah,
it's like
that's what I mean.
Going beyond the lines of ethics almost.
Yeah, that's that exactly.
But I would say they can go to sleep at night and just to be a total savage, not giving a fuck.
They probably live some luxury ass lifestyle, and that's why they can fucking sleep at night. But still, I mean, there's no way that. For one, eventually that's not sustainable because at some point I feel like your name's just going to get tarnished.
Yeah, there's going to be a wake up call.
And then you pretty much have to go ghost because I don't even know how you'd be able to like live on.
People are, and we're in the day and age where you're going to be on a Reddit post. People are going to fucking flame you on Twitter.
Yeah.
Like if you're trying to be this like trading or e-com guru god, when the sauce isn't that good. Yeah, and people are going to come at you like an angry mob.
They don't know what they're doing at all. They make their money off of pumping stocks. They make their money off of literally having their room follow, and then they're selling at whenever they want for 50-cent gain on thousands of shares. And then
speaking of 50 cent gain, I think I'm going to pump into 50 cents effing vodka here.
A little bit. Shout out to 50.
Shout out to 50. 50's a great business mind.
Oh, dude, facts.
I mean, he came into the rap game. He pumped and dumped the rap game.
Shit on the rap game for for a couple years, bro. He had one of the greatest windows ever.
And I tell people that, and people really think I'm crazy. I'm like, nah. Like for 2 to 3 years, 50 Cent had the hottest rap career of all time.
It was crazy. Don't get me wrong. Like with M and Dre, literally behind him is huge, but he still was making great music. I mean, Get Rich or Die Trying is one of the greatest albums. So
yeah, oh, absolutely. It's probably top 5 gangster rap albums, especially for your first album.
Bro, I love that album.
So good.
Yeah.
Play it right now.
Facts.
On the shelf.
You might get copyrighted, bro. On YouTube.
Oh, no, yeah.
YouTube might shut your ass down.
We can't have that.
You need that ads. You need that ad money, bro. You need that.
We need it. I am actually working on a little intro and outro.
Okay.
Little jingle. Shout out to Vinny out there.
Yeah, that's necessary, bro.
That'd be cool.
Liven it up a little bit. Yeah. I respect it.
It just blows my mind that back to 50 Cent real quick. We'll get back to the trading.
Yeah, no, you're good.
But how he had the craziest career before social media was even a thing.
Yeah.
Truthfully.
It's weirdly though, it wasn't all right, so the opportunity with social media is bigger now, for sure, for the nobodies. But if you were put in the right position back then, I feel like it was easier to excel if you were put in the right position because there wasn't as much noise, I want to call it.
Correct.
So like now, like everybody and their brother's fucking rapper and is popping off of one hit, and you know everyone's streaming makes our attention spans just went to shit. To be honest, I still do it because I'm just like I just love music, but like there's not many people that literally just wait for an album and then just literally respect it from top to bottom and let it play through. Like that's just rare. Like most people are like, oh, I'm gonna add 3 songs onto my playlist and just play that. Like, you know what I mean? So it's kind of like the art of like going and like buying the CD, and
It's kind of dead.
yeah, but like, so I mean, 50 would have popped regardless. But my point is like back then, like with M and everyone, M was on like the top of the world, and like everyone backing 50 at that right moment when CD culture was still there. Like everyone was just waiting for Get Rich or Die Trying. Like,
yeah, he punked out so many mixtapes and had such a buzz.
yeah, you got in the club just like spinning like everywhere you go. Like, you know what I mean? And like, I think that there wasn't as much noise.
Mm-hmm.
We didn't have, you know, hundreds of other rappers to listen to. And like now it's
like hypothetically, we can hop off this podcast and you and I could record a track with Jordan right now.
No,
Shout out
for
to
sure.
Jordan.
Yeah.
Jordan, you want to say anything? Yell anything? All right. He's being shy. We love Jordan here at Schiffbauer Over Rocks. But, man, I'm thinking. In terms of, all right, trading.
Yeah.
There's we're talking about the conceptions of it. You've been getting into the nitty-gritty details, which I'm loving it. I hope y'all out here are loving it, too. It's just some real facts. Let's talk about the misconceptions. What's the Wolf of Wall Street, the Wall Street Boiler Room?
Oh, okay. So the movies.
Yeah. Well, what's real and what's not?
They're not day trading. So
boom, there you go. That's the first misconception.
They're selling shit stocks to make commissions, basically.
Okay.
And to also have positions in those stocks too to manipulate and sell those. You know what I mean? So like,
hence the pump and dump.
Yeah. So like
that.
That's not day trading at all. They're stockbrokers that are pushing shit onto people that don't understand. You know what I mean? So like, especially Wolf of Wall Street, like they were attacking lower class. They even quote, I don't remember the exact quote in the movie, but he said his Jordan Belfort's like wife at the time, not the sexy one, but like
Naomi.
Yeah. Not that
the one before
not
Naomi.
That one.
I forget the other one. She's a nice looking like Jewish lady.
The OG wife, you know.
When she found out in the car,
she asked why he's selling to like poor people or middle class people, and why doesn't he just attack the rich because they have the money to lose? And he says because they're not stupid, like they're not dumb.
I mean, he's got a point there.
And like that's the fact of it though, is like he recognized that he could basically
manipulate.
He became a salesman. Like he trained everyone to cold call thousands or millions of people and push penny stocks on them that they didn't know. He'd call, you know, Joe from down the street that works as a plumber and like just doesn't have a lot of money. Like, you know what I'm saying? And like, he's like, yo, like you could change your life. This stock's going to go to the moon. When, if you did any type of research, like he was pushing Aerotech, like, oh, Aerotech's a fucking company in a garage that doesn't really is not anything at all.
But he's painting as if it's the next leading edge.
They just
in aviation technology.
Yeah, 100%.
Aerotech, baby.
Yeah. So they pump the shit out of it, and they don't give they get all the commissions on it. I think he was making back then on the OTC, like on the pink sheets, what was it, like 50% commission?
Nuts.
So I mean, you put $5,000, it's $2,500, boom, right there, boom,
easy money,
guaranteed too. He didn't give a fuck what that stock does. That stock could crash tomorrow. You know what I mean? So like, I guess day trading can get a bad rap because of that, but like it has nothing to do with that. It's not even in the same realm of I'm trading my own money. I'm not a stockbroker. I'm not trading for anyone else. I'm not telling anyone else to buy shit.
You're playing your own game.
Yeah, I'm like basically like my own business. You know what I mean? So, and I manage my own capital, and that's it. I'm not taking advantage of people that don't know what they're. I mean, you can, I guess, if you're talking about shorting, you can say that like you recognize when there's too many people, too many like newbies buying a stock. You can take advantage of that.
Let's get a little more into shorting.
Okay, so I'm just a short seller now. I used to, so there's two different types ways you can buy it or trade a stock. You can buy it, which is the traditional way. You buy it, you sell it for a profit, or you sell it for a loss. That's it. That's it. Simple. Shorting is basically betting that the stock will fall. So I short it. I'm selling before I'm buying. So say there's a $5 stock, and I see a 550 area that I want to short. I'll get short at 445 or a little bit before that, and it falls to $5. I buy back at 5, and I just made 45 cents. I get to keep the difference.
Gotcha.
So that's just what it is. It's just the opposite of buying and selling. It's just you want it to go down. It could also go up, and then you just cover for a loss. I mean, it's same thing. But with the smaller caps, a lot of them are sketchy and are kind of shitty companies, to be honest with you. So I like to short them. It's
full transparency.
It's easier for me to understand, like, hey, like, this isn't up for a great reason. This isn't a great company. There's a lot of dilution. There's a lot of sketchy shit going on. I like to short it because I don't think it's going to stay up. You know what I mean? So, like, I'm more consistent that way. Plenty of people make money buying stock. Like, that's... I'm not hating on. There's no, like, one way to go. It's just, like, me personally, I tried going long for a year and a half and then dabbled in shorting and long. I was, like, going both ways. Yeah. And I'm just way more consistent and I just see shorts better. So that's
strategy that, like, plays more to your skill sets.
For sure. Yeah.
And I think it's really interesting. I mean, almost in the mind of a salesman, the fact that you're like, oh, I mean, these are kind of shit companies, or it is what it is. This is the price. I think the best sales people are the ones that you totally remove emotion from it.
Right.
You're looking at, the price. You're looking at the data, and that's kind of it. I mean, a lot of people, I feel like, get it into the stock market, outside day trading. It's just like, oh, I love Disney. Oh, I love
They're too
Apple.
sold on it. Yeah.
It's too emotional. Mm-hmm. You're not looking at purely from a transactional standpoint.
Right. Yeah.
Which is detrimental, I feel like.
But they're swinging too. They're holding for a longer period of time, so they have maybe more conviction than I have. I mean, I'm literally taking advantage of 20, 30-minute windows, maybe an hour.
That's aggressive.
Yeah. So, like, but I also protect my loss too. Like, I literally, like, for example, to go back to the price that I just mentioned, if I was shorting at 545, I might have a 552 risk. And I have like a $5 target. So, like, I'm risking 7 cents to make 45. Like, you know what I mean? So it's like, you keep, if you, as long as you stick to that and don't, like, get greedy and think that you're never wrong. As long as you cut your loss when you know you're a little off, your wins will add up to way more than you lose. So it's not even a big deal.
It's crazy how that, like, you almost had to do like a constant rolling cost analysis live in the markets rolling. That's very aggressive.
It's all, you have to have a plan. If you win,
it's like, boom, 45 cents win, L, 7 cent loss. Mm-hmm. And then it's like that could change literally minute by minute.
You can computerize it too to take all emotion out. You literally, it's called like a range stop. Like, you could be like, you could just put in a range. Once you're in the position, you could just put a range stop to be like, okay, the computer will stop me out at 52, 7 cent loss, or it'll cover me at 501 or whatever for like a 40 cent gain. So, like, and then you can fucking go to sleep, bro. Like, it doesn't matter. You know what I mean? Like, the computer's gonna do all the work. You're either gonna win or you're gonna lose.
Yeah.
I mean, I don't do that. I do put range stops in, but I still sit there because I'm just I need control. I can't.
I feel like too, it's just like
away.
You're still like kind of fresh in comparison to your contemporaries in your industry.
Oh,
I mean, likewise,
bro,
me too.
I've had some success, but I'm a newbie, bro. I'm a rookie still. I'm telling you, like, I network with people that have traded for 10, 20 years. Like, 2.5. What is that?
There's nothing. I mean, there's so much game you can learn from
100%. That's why I just pick their brains. I mean, I'm talking to them in the chat. I'm messaging them on IG. I'm on the phone with people. Like, I'm connected. You know what I mean? And you have to be. It's by choice. It's not. I'm learning shit from that. I'm literally picking everything I can from there.
I'm a firm believer. I'm a big networker. And there's so much you can learn from people who've been doing things in your space 10, 20, 30 years more than you.
Oh, 100%. That's
always willing to learn. I'm like very transparent. I'm like, hey, like, I'm fresh.
Bro,
I've had success, but like, I want to learn more.
Yeah. And you need those people around you. You have to surround yourself with people like that.
Make you better.
You have to, because if not, you're going to be complacent. We talked about that earlier, just being stuck around a bunch of complacent minds is not healthy for someone that's on a different path.
I definitely agree with that. And even outside, I know you and I are essentially business for ourselves, but even all y'all out there who might be 9-to-5 grind, network with people and have mentors. I think it's very important. Even if you're comfortable working for a company, there's nothing wrong with that.
Right.
If that's what you want to do.
No, yeah, facts.
But network with other individuals in your respective spaces just to get better so you can provide more value at work and for the companies that you work for ultimately. Big into that.
For sure. Yeah. No, I'm never hating on the 9-to-5 grind. I hate on people that do it when they hate it.
Yeah, it's just like, what are you doing?
Yeah.
I've had conversations with individuals out. Someone tried to tell me, great guy too, really nice guy. He's just like, I was kind of into marketing, but then like I felt like it was too like oversaturated. I'm thinking to myself, oversaturated? There's 7 billion fucking people on this planet. It's not oversaturated. What you could provide for either yourself or other individuals, even if from a company standpoint, it's just like there's niches out there.
Right. Yeah, for sure.
Like you don't have to be like everybody else. You shouldn't be like everybody else.
Literally like I think that's like one of the biggest, like you think back to like high school, right? Like everyone wants to fit in.
Yeah.
But the people that didn't are the ones that like are the coolest now, or like on their own shit the most now.
I didn't really fit in back in high school. I didn't have like a niche.
I fit in, but I also like I felt like I was always in like a different mindset.
I was very likable by different like subsets of people, like the jocks, then the nerds. I was generally just a good person to good people.
Right. No, I mean that's the best way to be. I feel like I was the same way. I'm just saying I fit in, but like mentally I just felt like I was on like a little bit of a different path. Like I could see like the complacent mindset sitting in on everyone, and I just want to be great, bro. I just want to be super successful.
You want to be the best version of Ryan Spencer as possible.
100%. It's not even. Yeah, that's it. That's all it comes down to, really. Like I have to maximize me as a human.
Yeah, and it's really interesting. I'm getting better every day. There's aspects where like I hate about myself because I love where I'm going. And I love the person I'm going to be.
What do you not like?
Well, that's a good question. I know there's more I can do.
Need to work on
from a work context. I know there's more value I can provide. It's just honestly doing more research, doing more practical work, just minimizing any distractions I have. But there's further things I can cut out. I'm a big believer. It's just like, it's great to self-love. I'm generally a very positive guy. I love life. I'm very happy, very positive. There's aspects I hate because I know I could be a better version of myself. And people are like, maybe that's not healthy. I think it's healthy because
it is healthy.
It's a moving target at that point. I'm getting better, working towards a better life for myself and those in it. It's really interesting. I had a really great guy. He's really looking better himself. He was asking me some questions about like sending out like, hey, I want to pitch these businesses about doing photography, and I gave him some feedback. And he's like, I'm trying to get on your level. I'm like, first I'm thinking to myself, I'm flattered that you said that, but like, no, you don't want to get on my level. You want to get on your level.
Yeah,
that you want to be on.
Right.
Like, you don't want to get on my path. You want to get on what's best for you as an individual, the person you aspire to be and actualize.
100%.
So it's just like, thank you, one, but more importantly, no, that rubbed me the wrong way. It's just like, you need to be the best version of yourself.
Right. It's cool for other people to like be inspired by other people or look up to other people, but you have to kind of like, pick and choose certain parts about what they do or what you love that they do, and then
do it in your
bring it back to your core and perfect it for yourself. Because that's everything. Like, we are all inspired by other people. There's no way that you would be doing what you're doing or I'm doing what I'm doing without literally talking to anyone else. Like, you know what I mean? Like, you're inspired by other people's moves. You're studying other people's moves that are better than you, but you're doing it in your own way, and you're just taking little pieces. I mean, that's everything. That's sports. That goes across the board. You have to study other people, but you can't try to like mock exactly what they do.
Pablo Picasso, of all people, said the best artists steal, but you don't notice it.
Yeah.
They just take little aspects and incorporate it in their own land.
Yeah, I like that. That's sick.
Yeah, just applying it in that realm. I mean, I think it can be applicable in any capacity. It's just, you're stealing, but you're taking the best aspects of things from people. It's just like, yeah, I'm going to incorporate it in my own fashion.
Yeah.
I mean, there's nothing wrong with that.
No, there's definitely nothing wrong with that. You just, like I said, it's all in a process of being the best human you can be. You know what I mean?
Yeah. And I think that's very important. It's just like, how do you get better day to day? I mean, moving forward with you, you're 2.5, moving on 3 years, and you're day trading. What are you doing? What are you willing to disclose where, like, damn, like, this is where I want to be in 5 years, 10 years? What are you doing? I'm curious to get there.
Like number-wise or what the process is?
Processes.
So, I mean, what I talked about earlier, just analyzing every move that I make. You know what I mean? So that's daily growth. I make a trade, like the trade I made on Friday. I have screenshots. I have a diary on it. Or a journal, whatever you want to call it, and don't be corny about it. You know what I mean?
Little journal.
I don't have
put my thoughts.
I'm not ready. I'm not writing a diary about my feelings out here. You know what I mean? But I'm just saying, like,
Kiki, do you love me? Are you riding?
Just like the mindset that I had, like going in the trade, exiting the trade, what my thoughts were in the trade, blah blah. So all of that will lead to just more consistency and more growth, the more experience I get. So I think that's what I'm doing to better myself for sure. Goal wise, like number wise, like obviously my next stop's like 100K.
I'm right there with you, brother.
Yeah.
Cheers to that.
Yeah. So if we want to put numbers out there, that's my next goal, 100K account size.
There's nothing wrong with that.
But
transparency's good. Something to work towards too.
Yeah, but the work process though, which is like more important to get there, is like what I was talking about earlier. Yeah.
All right. Is there any other kind of plugs you want to make while you're here? We've had a little fun session here. This has been some deep, very informative insight.
Nah, I rock with this. It's awesome. It might inspire me to do my own podcast or something.
Right. If you want to have a guest, I'll be happy to hop on.
No, for sure. You'd be first one.
I think what you should do, just from your process standpoint, almost like day in the life of a day trader.
Yeah.
Almost like a little featurette.
I just don't want it to be corny, you know?
No, and here's the
I see shit like that on YouTube and it just comes across corny sometimes. And like, I don't feel like I'm all about like just being real about the emotions and shit. Yeah, I don't want to put this front on because like I've watched day trading videos and it's like they make it seem so easy.
They're in their BMW like, oh,
it's bullshit. It's the front. I mean, I'm not saying that like day trading profits can't lead to that. They do, but like you don't have to like act like you don't have to put on this front that it's so easy because it's not. I think it's not easy at all.
We're just like actually spinning a game right now. I think it'd be great. Like you have like a little featurette. Boom, 5:30 in the morning, you're getting up. You're like studying, working. Boom, 7:30.
So like the real shit.
Yeah, no, the real shit. Yeah, this is like you just have time.
I bet you that won't pop off though, because it.
Yeah, no, but I think it's great from a
people like
standpoint.
The clickbait. They're like they want to see the headline where it's like I've made 20 grand in 30 minutes.
Yeah,
like,
fuck that. There's a market. Here's the thing: it might not pop off, but it pop off to the right people.
Yeah, you're right. It would bring value for sure. That's why whenever I do talk, I just try to be real about it because. That's going to bring the most value to people, like just being honest and open about the actual journey, not being
here's my $1 million.
Here's fluffy. My car. Yeah, it's just that's what I'm saying. It's just fluffy about it. It's like, oh, I've day traded
here in my garage,
5 years, and I have a mansion, and I'm like, okay, cool. Like, yeah, you might have that, but like, talk about like the bad times too, you know? Because
actually teach me real shit.
You have to talk about the shit times. You have to talk about, hey, you might trade for 2 years and not make a dime.
It's real.
Or be negative. Lose money. You know
I've lost money in my consulting career.
Right.
Getting it up and running.
But those are great lessons, though, or those are like tuition to the game, bro.
Yeah,
like, you know what I mean?
You got to make your bones.
Yeah,
that's what I mean. Spend money, make money.
100%.
Shout out to Meek Mill. Scary money don't make no money.
Yeah, facts, bro. that relates to trading. That relates to trading hardcore. Like, every time I'm feeling uneasy, I don't make shit. You got to just click the button. You just got to have conviction in what you're doing. You have to have conviction in your process and what you've already learned and just go for it. If you see a line that you want to target or an area that you want to target, fucking click the button. Don't hesitate.
Fucking click the button.
Boom.
Ryan Spencer, Schiffbauer Over Rocks. Scare money don't make no money. It's been a fun podcast.
Yeah, absolutely, bro. Appreciate it. Appreciate having me on.
We'll be back.
Yeah. Big time.